Hello and welcome to IoT Marketing Live. I'm Tiffany Nielsen, and with me is my co host, the CEO and founder of IoT Marketing, Johannes Beekman. How are you doing today, Johannes?
I'm great, Tiffany. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And our first story comes to us from Barcelona, Spain, as Mobile World Congress just wrapped up. According to ABC News, the father of the cell phone was there, along with Huawei and a host of other Chinese tech companies, along with tens of thousands of visitors who flocked to the MWC Tech Fair to be dazzled by the latest advances in AI, smartphones, robotics, and more. Attractions at the show include SK Telecom's virtual reality air taxi, Flight Simulator, which was one of the most popular demonstrations with long lines to take a virtual ride. There were robot dogs to remotely inspect infrastructure and holograms for virtual learning, along with speeches from wireless industry executives. Some 80,000 people attended the world's biggest wireless trade show, and MWC is renowned for debuting the latest smartphone innovations. Motorola added the wow factor by unveiling a phone with a screen that rolls out. When you double tap your fingers on the side, the display automatically extends from 5 inches long to 6.5 inches by unscrolling from the bottom. Motorola's owner, Chinese tech brand Lenovo, also showed off a laptop with a rolling screen, which took about 19 seconds to unscroll to its fully extended position. Sounds pretty exciting, except the company said their concept devices are unlikely to hit the market anytime soon. Brands like Samsung and China's Oppo and Tecno also released their latest folding designs. What do you think of these new phone innovations, Johannes?
Well, there were great phones at Mobile World Barcelona, but first of all, let me say it's great that Mobile World Barcelona is back. The attendance level is almost at pre-pandemic level, and I'm sure next year they'll hit or surpass the pre-pandemic numbers. Second, every year a lot of phones are being launched at Mobile World Congress. So it's great. It's a great show to see the new phones and concept phones. And I like the Xiaomi 12S with the Leica lens. And I also like the OnePlus 45-watt liquid cooler. Now you don't have to worry anymore that your phone overheats. And then, of course, and you mentioned that already, there were the foldable phones and devices, and there were a lot of them. Motorola launched the Moto Riser rollable concept smartphone. Oppo introduced the Find N2 and the Find N2 Flip. Honor introduced the Magic VS, and Tecno Phantom V or 5-fold had its debut at Mobile Congress. Foldables are not mainstream yet, but the price is slowly coming down.
Thanks, Johannes. I have seen a few foldable phones in the hands of others, so they're definitely starting to get adopted. And more news from MWC Barcelona as the metaverse got a lot of attention as companies cash in on the hype surrounding the new virtual worlds for work and play. Artificially intelligent chatbots like ChatGPT have taken the tech world by storm, and UK startup X-Ray Glass is joining the fray with augmented reality glasses. The company's virtual assistant app was designed to work with smart viewer glasses to help people who are deaf or hard of hearing hear better and understand what's happening around them. Speech is transcribed from other people nearby, and the subtitles are displayed onto the lenses or an attached smartphone. Now, X-Ray has integrated OpenAI's ChatGPT technology into its app and glasses setup. Software company Amdocs demonstrated AR technology that could be used for next-generation immersive experiences for both fans and security staff at big-ticket sporting games. For example, soccer fans attending a match in person could buy a package of extras for their AR glasses, including exclusive replay videos and live stats shown on their lenses to augment their game experience. The same glasses could also be used as an extra tool for security staff at the game, with additional safety features, including a security database. In a simulation at MWC, guards were alerted to rowdy fans trying to climb the gates. A known soccer hooligan was flagged on the database with his face and details flashing up on the lenses. Users viewing the scene from the guard's perspective scanned the crowd as the glasses picked out faces before identifying the suspect so he could be apprehended. An unsettling display bordering on Orwellian, according to ABC. What are your thoughts on these innovations, Johannes?
So let me start with the first one, X-ray. ChatGPT can transcribe audio, and no surprise there. ChatGPT can actually do a lot of things that most of us haven't even tried. So when the CEO of X-ray learned that his grandfather became more isolated when he lost his hearing, he decided to combine the transcription feature of ChatGPT with AR glasses. This is a breakthrough application, Tiffany. I cannot stress enough the importance of this application for the hearing impaired. And I know these are not the first AR glasses that can transcribe audio and project them as subtitles in AR glasses. And I also know there is a whole market segment of smart AR glasses for the visually and hearing impaired. But we need more of them, and they need to get cheaper and simpler. And that's where ChatGPT comes in. So I fully expect to see more ChatGPT based apps for AR applications. And second example that you mentioned, Amdocs. Right now, every police officer in the US has an MDT or mobile data terminal in his car. And you always see them checking the MDT because it provides a real-time data feed. In the near future, a selection of the data will be relayed to the officer's AR glasses, which sounds more like Robocop. But to make that happen, we still have to do a lot of things. So the officer or security guard, in your example, now to make that experience for the officer or security guard an immersive experience will require a lot of bandwidth. And of course, you need to consider cybersecurity. So a lot of things need to be put in place. One, first of all, we are turning the police car into an edge computer and a mesh node. On the back end, that police car is connected to a high security private 5G network. And on the front end, it's connected with mobile mesh nodes that include officers, guards, and likely drones to maintain a high bandwidth connection with the police officers investigating a crime scene, for example. And the edge computer encrypts the data in the mesh network. So it's still in the future. It's not that long off, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done.
Thanks, Johannes. And when it comes to tiny IoT devices, the U.S. Department of Commerce's Technical Standards Organization, NIST, has nominated the ASON group of cryptographic algorithms for protecting small devices and information transmitted to and from IoT devices. NIST will later this year publish the lightweight cryptography standard after picking the ASON family for the task. Many of these devices operate with low power that the lightweight cryptography needs to account for when protecting information on and transmitting from them. According to ZDNet, the world is moving toward using small devices for lots of tasks, ranging from sensing to identification to machine control. And because these small devices have limited resources, they need security that has a compact implementation, said NIST computer scientist Carrie McKay in an announcement. These algorithms should cover most devices that have these sorts of resource constraints. NIST selected ASON in 2019 as the primary candidate for lightweight authenticated encryption, so it's had lots of time to put it through tests. McKay noted that there are 7 variants in the ASON family. 2 very important ones are authenticated encryption with associated data, AEAD, and hashing. AEAD allows a message to be encrypted while leaving the header of a message and a device's IP address in plain text. NIST points out that AEAD can be used in vehicle-to-vehicle communications. It can also prevent spoofing messages exchanged with radio frequency identification or RFID tags. Meanwhile, hashing could be used to check if a software update is valid and has been downloaded correctly. What are your thoughts on this new lightweight cryptography standard, Johannes?
Well, Tiffany, we've been talking about edge computing for almost 2 years now, and we've been talking about zero trust security for over a year now. Putting two and two together, securing data in an edge computing environment requires a zero trust approach, meaning that you have to assume that all devices have been compromised and that all access needs to be strictly controlled. And edge encryption is a critical part of this layered approach. Over the past decade, numerous lightweight block ciphers and encryption algorithms for IoT devices in an edge computing environment have been proposed. But I like the approach that the NIST took to developing this new standard, because the National Institute of Standards took a very thorough approach to select this cryptography standard. Based on information on the NIST website, to determine the strongest and most efficient lightweight algorithms, NIST held a development program that took several years, well, close to 5 years, first communicating with industry and other organizations to understand their needs, and then requesting potential solutions from the world's cryptography community in 2018. After receiving 57 submissions, McKay and mathematician Meltem Sumnes Duran managed a multi-round public review process in which cryptographers examined and attempted to find weaknesses in the candidates, eventually whittling the 57 candidates down to 10 finalists before selecting the winner. As you mentioned, it's not just one cryptography standard. I mean, we're talking about 7 members of the ASCON family. And the reason why they select this family is because this family gives a range of functionality that will offer designers options for different tasks. On a side note, one of the ASCON variants offers a measure of resistance to the sort of attack a powerful quantum computer might mount. And finally, the chosen algorithms are designed to protect information created and transmitted by the Internet of Things, including its myriad tiny sensors and actuators. But they're also designed for other miniature technologies such as implanted medical devices, stress detectors inside roads and bridges, and keyless entry fobs for the vehicles. Devices like these need lightweight cryptography, protection that uses the limited amount of electronic resources they possess. According to NIST computer scientist Kerry McKay, the newly selected algorithm should be appropriate for most forms of new tiny tech. To summarize, it took a while. It took almost 5 years, but it is a rock-solid piece of work, Tiffany. I like the process that the NIST chose to develop the criteria and select the new standard. Obviously, we'll be hearing more about the deployment of the ASCON family of cryptography standards.
Thanks, Johannes. And our next story. Emnify and Link announced partnership for satellite-based global IoT connectivity in offshore locations. Emnify, the market-leading cloud-native enabler of IoT cellular connectivity, today announced a new strategic and technological partnership with satellite IoT connectivity provider Link. The partnership positions Emnify at the forefront of a nascent revolution in IoT connectivity, with the satellite and terrestrial mobile communication systems integrating into a unified network of networks to deliver more resilient, accessible, and flexible connectivity solutions. The partnership will make Link's innovative cell towers in space available to all Emnify customers to guarantee consistent and reliable IoT connectivity. Emnify customers will now be able to leverage their existing GSM or LTE cellular radio device to connect Link's satellite-based cell towers. The solution will be underpinned by Link's global technology and managed by Emnify's unique web portal and APIs. Use cases such as environmental monitoring, fish farming, smart metering, and asset tracking in offshore locations and international waters do not require frequent data transfer. However, the ability to establish connectivity without relying on mobile network reception is crucial for collecting meter readings, sensor values, or GPS location of assets. This partnership marks the future of IoT connectivity, where satellite and terrestrial mobile communication systems work seamlessly together to provide more resilient, accessible, and flexible connectivity solutions. What's your take on this partnership, Johannes?
Well, Tiffany, you've covered most of this topic already, but let me just add that Link Global is a leading satellite direct-to-phone telecoms company. They have successfully launched 3 cell towers in space, as they call them. And for the Link towers, Link has bought global commercial licenses for satellite direct-to-phone service from the FCC. They are already partnering with MNOs, and MNOs can seamlessly add the Link satellite towers to their existing network to expand coverage. The MNFI Link partnership is structured similarly, and it extends MNFI's coverage into international maritime waters. So the basis of the story is all about coverage, adding, trying to cover more of the world, be it in the ocean or be it in areas that are very hard to put a cell phone in.
Thanks, Johannes. And Glass has released 3 near-invisible antennas supporting cellular, Wi-Fi, and GNSS technologies. With peel and stick mounting to any non-metal surface, the TFX series antennas offer an alternative to standard opaque antennas. The new 3 models came with an adhesive and have an enclosed carrier, terminated with a FACRA connector for easy installation. The series leverages a sub-millimeter thick hybrid transparent conductive film that offers designers an invisible antenna solution. The TFX series antennas are suitable for mobility, public infrastructure, medical devices, transportation, and emerging IoT applications. Use cases for the antennas include electric vehicle chargers, parking meters, smart buildings, and transportation vehicles. These nearly invisible antennas sound pretty interesting. What do you think, Johannes?
We live in a wireless world, Tiffany. Antennas are ubiquitous and devices are getting smaller, which means that you cannot stick a whip antenna on any device anymore. But you can stick a applique antenna on pretty much any surface. It's more aesthetically pleasing, but it also comes with more design challenges. So yes, I like invisible antennas, and the TVX series antennas from Glass look great.
Thanks, Johannes. And we have our Green Things Summit coming up on April 27th. And our next stories are on topics that we'll be discussing at the event. According to Frost & Sullivan's recent analysis of emerging sensor technologies for environmental monitoring, advanced and varied sensing and monitoring technologies protect the environment from harmful infections and toxins. Green sensors assess the chemical composition of the soil, purity of the water, and air quality. The small size, low power, signal processing, and communications capabilities of sensors will be the primary factors driving growth and opportunities across industries. Viren Babu, tech vision industry analyst at Frost & Sullivan, shares technology convergence is playing an important role in ensuring that sensors benefit humans, and that data analytics cloud platforms and other advanced machine learning retrieve data from the green Internet of Things enabled environmental sensors and provide actionable insights. Emerging sensor technologies for environmental monitoring and their global growth opportunities is the last addition to the Frost & Sullivan's Tech Vision research and analysis available through the Frost & Sullivan Leadership Council, which helps organizations identify a continuous flow of growth opportunities to succeed in an unpredictable future. What are your thoughts on this new analysis, Johannes?
Well, first of all, the IoT sensors market is a huge market, Tiffany. Allied Market Research expects a market size of 140 billion at the end of this decade, just for the IoT sensors. The environmental monitoring market, which is much smaller, piggybacks on the technology development for the entire sensor market. And Mordor Intelligence expects the environmental sensors market to grow with a CAGR of 9.25% for the next 5 years, which is still a solid growth for a market like this. And the main growth drivers for the environmental sensors are, as you can imagine, the rise in pollution brought on by increased air travel, larger population, and other factors. Also, increased adoption of IoT, the development or continuing development of Industry 4.0, and government initiatives and funding. So it is a important market. It's a rapidly growing market, and definitely an interesting market to be in.
Thanks, Johannes. And Hexagon's Manufacturing Intelligence Division and Altium have entered a strategic partnership which will help the design and manufacturing of electronics to be more environmentally sustainable. The partnership combines Hexagon's expertise in utilizing data from design and engineering, manufacturing, and metrology with Altium's strengths in PCB design and electronic supply chain intelligence to help companies understand the impact of product development, decisions on the sustainability of electronics, and smart products. Nearly every industry today faces increased pressure to reduce its carbon footprint and energy consumption, improve the recyclability of products, and conform to many additional regulatory requirements. Achieving such shifts in electronics industry is immensely challenging, given the complexity of the global supply chains and operations, as well as the products themselves. Almost no solutions exist to manage sustainability performance across the ecosystem. Hexagon and Altium's partnership recognizes the significant impact that the electronics industry has had on the environment and aims to make a positive change by introducing new tools and solutions which support the industry in becoming more sustainable. The partnership is wide ranging, with developments planned through 2023 and beyond, with initial solutions focusing on reducing e waste or electronic waste through carbon dioxide impact tracking and recyclability improvements made available through Hexagon's Nexus digital reality platform and the Altium 365 electronics product design platform that unites PCB design, MCAD data management, and teamwork. How do you feel about that partnership, Johannes?
Well, it's absolutely necessary, Tiffany. And the message here is companies cannot do this kind of analysis on their own because it's not just a manufacturing challenge. This is even more a supply chain challenge. So you need to collect information from all your suppliers and their suppliers and their suppliers and so on. And that is where these partnerships come into play because manufacturers do not have the staffing to check their entire supply chain, and suppliers do not have the staffing to answer the questions from every customer regarding carbon footprint or energy consumption of a particular product. So I expect that we'll see more of these partnerships focusing on different industries, supply chains, or ecosystems.
Thank you, Johannes. And our last story. Atmosic Technologies and Dracula Technologies' battery-free remote control reference design is ushering in a new generation of low-maintenance IoT devices. Atmosic Technologies, an innovator in energy harvesting wireless platforms for the Internet of Things, and Dracula Technologies, a pioneer in harvesting energy through indoor light, today announced they have collaborated on an advanced remote control reference design. The reference design uses Atmosic's ATM33 ultra low power system on a chip and Dracula's innovative layer platform and includes a real world example showing how easy it is for companies to test and develop IoT products. With this reference design, companies can design connected devices ranging from beacons to remote controls and industrial sensors, all powered by energy harvesting technology to provide sustainable solutions that eliminate the need for batteries. What do you think about this new approach for IoT devices, Johannes?
We're going from oblique, likely printed antennas to printed solar panels. I like it. This is a great collaboration, Tiffany. Low power management, energy harvesting, and printed photovoltaic panels. And it's great that they release a reference design because that makes it that much easier to develop a sustainable IoT solution that doesn't need any batteries.
Thanks, Johannes. And as we wrap things up, please remember to get your tickets now for the Green Things Summit coming up on April 27th. And we also have speaking, sponsorship, and advertising opportunities available for that event and more. So contact us to learn more. And we also offer end-to-end marketing services as well as PR, content creation, design, and production services. So please reach out to us for a free consultation to see how we can help you reach your marketing and sales objectives. Any final thoughts, Johannes?
I like today's news, Tiffany. So thanks for putting it together. It shows how much innovation is happening right now in the IoT industry. So to everybody who is listening to the newscast, if you have a green tech, clean tech, or sustainable product that you want to highlight, we want to talk to you. We have a great Green Think Summit coming up with great speakers and topics. So much is happening in the sustainability space right now. We want to give you a chance to present your product and tell your story at our summit.
Thanks, Johannes, and thank you so much for joining me today. Always a fabulous co-host, so thank you so much. And thank you to everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time. Be sure to get your tickets for the summit, and we'll see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.